I'm Jay Taylor. I'm author of a newsletter called Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy, and Tech Stocks, and I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver. It's November 12th, 2021, and I'm here with Kelly Malcolm. He is a Vice President of Exploration of Amex Exploration. That's a company I started following a little while ago. Very, very exciting story with a lot of very high-grade gold intercepts that really attracted my attention. In the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, western Quebec, close to the Ontario border. They have, it looks like a very large gold system, but also they've recently discovered a very exciting VMS system. So Kelly, thank you very much for joining me. And
thanks, it's a pleasure.
Let's give the people a quick story, a quick snapshot
Sure.
of all that you have going here.
So number one, Capital Front raised $55 million since discovery of the high-grade zone. We were in the middle of a 300,000 meter drilling program.
Wow. Yeah.
We've got 10 drills on site, 8 drills currently operating. Found 4 gold zones, 2 additional new gold discoveries, new base metal discovery. And we've really only worked on about a 3 or 4 kilometer stretch out of our entire overall property package. So lots of potential to grow upon what we've already found to date.
And yeah, so you've done a lot of drilling already in that area, though. It's very intense drilling, so you have a lot of data points to pull a resource together, I'm sure. You're, I mean, you keep probably stepping out and finding more. So you maybe
Yeah.
when might we expect a maiden resource? Because I'm thinking it ought to be very good. Given the data that I've seen.
We're certainly thinking the same. We're targeting about Q2 of 2022. That said, we keep sort of identifying targets that are open for expansion. So for example, Denise, we just put out spectacular results yesterday. Denise is our lower grade zone. We put out 8 grams over 44 meters.
Lower grade.
Lower grade. And what's neat about that is it's wide open for expansion to the east. So obviously, if we have any joy with that expansion program beginning in December, I would want to incorporate those new ounces into that resource as well. So we are working towards the maiden resource. It's hard to close off these systems that quickly.
If you're a geologist, especially when it keeps
because they're always open. Yes.
More interested in Mother Nature than the bank account, perhaps, in some ways.
Yeah.
So your VMS, it's a VMS target, right?
Yes.
The polymetallic. Is there an analog? I think you have a past producing mine that's very similar, almost the same geology, same mineralogy.
Exact same geology. This is what basically our gold project sits like a wedge.
Yeah.
Just above it, we have what we call the Normatel mine horizon.
Yeah.
Along that horizon, about 4 kilometers to the east, is the past producing Normatel mine. Went from surface down to 2.4 kilometers, so very deep, very continuous. And that was a little over 2% copper, 5% zinc, half a gram of gold, ounce and a half of silver.
Oh.
Our hit, which was on that same strike, on the same structure, exactly on this kilometric scale of repeated deposits with VMS systems, we hit 8 meters of 2.4% copper, 0.7 zinc, 0.3 gold, and 22 grams of silver.
Wow.
So very, very similar widths. We think that we're onto something. We've drilled a few follow-up holes, announced one. Visually, it looks like we're potentially going to be able to grow a sizable deposit with that analog being the past producing mine.
Interesting. And these VMS deposits generally come in clusters. They've sort of spaced out. Are you seeing some potential for other VMS discoveries?
Yeah, it's a neat question. So we have the Normatel mine. There's a satellite deposit that was found by the same company exactly 1 kilometer away from Normatel called Normitmar. And then you go 1, 2, 3 kilometers over from that, and there's our new VMS discovery. And there's some showings further to the east that again sit on that kilometer repetition break. So it's a really nice indicator. We've got some geophysical signatures, some geochemical signatures that point to potential repetitions along that structure. So lots of targets and lots of excitement for us.
And I suppose, are you in the middle of a drill program now, or is it just an ongoing thing that you keep revising it? I guess that seems to be the way it must be with you.
So we started with a 2,000 meter program, November 2018. That became 5, that became 10, that became 25, became 50, that became 150, then it became 300. So we can certainly raise money. We have a really strong capital markets presence. And our goal is to deliver the biggest and best resource to shareholders that we can get. And if that's
Who are some of your larger shareholders?
biggest one is Eric Sprott. He's about 16%. He's played in 4 financings. A group called Commodity Capital is a strong supporter as well, with around 8%. I think the second biggest individual shareholder is the president, Victor Cantori. He's got about 6% himself, all bought and paid for in the market.
Sorry to interrupt there. We had someone laughing outside.
Okay.
Just when you were answering the who's your biggest investor.
Okay, we can. Yeah,
So
I can.
Can we ask? Is it okay, Jake? Can you ask that question one more time? Who is his biggest
What
investor?
was the question about the?
Who is your biggest shareholder?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Sure.
Yeah. Who are your largest shareholders?
Biggest one, Eric Sprott at 16%. He's played in 3 or 4 financings to date. Commodity Capital, a fund based in Luxembourg, owns around 8%. Victor Cantori, the president, owns about 6%, all bought and paid for in the market and financings. Quebec institutions and other institutional holdings are sort of growing as we expand the project. We're transitioning a little bit from a dominantly retail shareholder base to a more institutional.
Right, for sure.
story.
I would think that the big boys are going to want to pay some attention to you.
They've definitely started looking, yeah.
I can't imagine they won't. And then, of course, there's so many of these majors that are hungry for deposits. They've been a little more disciplined than in the past. They haven't gone out and paid crazy amounts of money at the top of the market, and their balance sheets are very strong, but their reserves are not. They're dwindling. And so multi-million ounce high-grade deposits in a jurisdiction like Quebec, I can't imagine that there wouldn't be some interest in your story.
Certainly interest, yeah. We're in a great neighborhood. There's producers basically all around us.
Sure.
We're on the highway. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so just in closing then, I guess people should just keep watching for drill results and maybe
Drill results, met work.
you have some
We
network.
we have metallurgical work on Denise.
Yeah.
We've done metallurgy on high grade zone. We want to do it on Denise, Gretienne, and Grey Cat, so that those can all be incorporated into the maiden resource.
Wonderful.
And also do some work on the VMS mineralization as well.
Well, that's a great story. Thank you
Thanks,
very much,
Jay.
Kelly,
Appreciate
for
it. It's a
taking the
pleasure.
time.
It's my absolute pleasure.
Well, I look forward to making some money with this story too.